Hi, my name's Annie, and I'm one of the therapists at Counselling4Yeovil, and I'm just going to share with you some ideas from my experience of working with people who are struggling emotionally. And let's face it, that's all of us at some points in our lives, but especially during this crisis of coronavirus and self-isolation. So, my first piece of advice, my first idea is let's stay connected. Really important to be connected. And sometimes when we get a bit bogged down, it feels quite hard to bother to be connected with people, but it's really important. If you can just pick up the phone and 3 minutes into the conversation, you'll be really glad that you did. Um, I'm grateful for the people that are putting things online, creating new WhatsApp groups, things like that to help us to stay connected with each other. Number two, let's get creative. We can be creative in all sorts of ways. So lots of people say to me that they're not creative people, but actually we're all creative. If you're musical or artistic, or if you can write a poem, if you can journal, if you can knit or sew, there's so many different ways of being creative. Let's use this time to be creative. It's good for us, and we can create some beauty in the midst of a difficult time. And let's be creative about how we get through this situation. Use our imaginations. So stay connected, get creative, and number three, have structure. It's really hard to get through the day without structure, especially when you have a lot of days that are rather similar to each other. So having structure even on the down days is really important, and it's going to help you to get through and get more out of the day. Be positive. That's a decision to be positive. If you can be feeling perhaps negative or scared even, and choose to think about things in a more positive way, it will make a big difference to how you feel. How we think affects how we feel. Some of us are naturally optimists, some of us are naturally pessimists, and that's okay. But let's make a decision. We can all do this. Make a decision and practice thinking about things in a more positive way. Maybe thinking, maybe it won't actually turn out like that. What's the most positive way that I could look at this situation? Will make a difference to how you feel and will help you. Be inspired. There are lots of things that can inspire us, things online that we can search out. Now's a good time to search them out and be encouraged and inspired. If you're a Bible reading person, reading the Bible will be an encouraging and inspiring thing to do. You'll find all sorts of things in there from people who have struggled and found God in their situation. Get defiant. Let's find that British spirit that came out during the wars, where we defiantly choose to make the best of the situation, where we draw on that. We won't be beaten. We will never give up spirit. And let's try and make something good out of a bad situation and get through it in the best, most positive way that we can. Be real. It's absolutely fine to be real. Although we want to be cheerful and positive, it's important that we can be real with each other because we're all going through this together. If you're brave enough to tell someone, actually, I felt quite lonely last night, or having the whole of Saturday to myself made me feel really low, that will help somebody else who's feeling the same way too, help us to feel less isolated in our feelings. Let's stay informed about what we need to know and what we need to do, but let's not spend too much time on watching the news. Some of it, not all of it, but some of it is very negative and fear-mongering and won't really help us, especially just before bedtime. So I would seriously limit the amount of time you spend looking at it. Let's laugh. Very important. It's a little thing and it's a big thing. Let's laugh. And if something makes you laugh, find it out. Look at things on the television that make you laugh. If Miranda Hart makes you laugh, then watch her. If you have a friend who you always laugh with, then spend time with them, crack some jokes, have some fun. Stay on the phone long enough till you get to that point where you are laughing together. It will do you a lot of good. Laughter is important. Get outside if you can, and if you can't get outside, then look outside. If you can get outside, the National Trust have opened their grounds um, for free for us to go into. You can park there for free, and it will just, as long as we stay away from each other, we're still allowed to do that. So it will do a lot of good to get outside. If you can't get outside, open a window and look outside for 3 minutes, looking at a tree or a field or people walking past in the street, and it might seem like a small thing, but actually it's a big thing. It can just be enough to change your mood. Um, Self-kindness and caring routines, being nice to yourselves, people. Um, so often we're hard on ourselves, we beat ourselves up, we think we should be doing better. We don't need that just now. Let's be nice to ourselves. Let's see the things we're doing right. Let's pick some daffodils from the garden and bring them inside and look at them and let the joyful colours just lift our spirits. Little things can lift our spirits. And I do a gratitude journal most days, not every day, but most days, and I write in there things which I'm grateful for. And I've discovered over the years that I've been doing it that on the most difficult days are the days when it's most important to do it. So even on a really bad day, if I can think, okay, that was an awful day, but actually I'm still grateful for this thing or that thing, it helps. It really helps. And when you look back, it's wonderful to see all the things that there are to be grateful for over time. Help someone else. We've got time at the moment. You could write a list of all the people you know, and you could think of ways that you could bless them and help them in some way or other. That would be a great use of our time at the moment. So when we take our minds off ourselves and onto other people, it really helps us too. And we could all use some surprise encouragement from somebody who's thinking about us at the moment. And let's be patient. This too will pass. These things always pass, and we'll get through this. We'll get through this together. If you're a Bible reading person or a praying person, now's a great time to pray. Let's pray for each other. Let's pray for ourselves. Let's pray for the situation that we find ourselves in. And personally, I find it encouraging, really encouraging to know that someone bigger than me and more loving than me is in charge. If you're not a praying person or a Bible reading person, then perhaps you believe in some higher power or spiritual world or something different. But now is a really good time to look into what it is that you really believe. I hope this has been helpful, and I'm sending you lots of love. And I'm here if you need me at Counselling4Yeovil. We're still here if you need us, even though sessions will mostly be online at the moment. Take care.